welcome to another episode of Market Markup. This is your host, Lance, co-founder of BH Capital Enterprises. And what I do at my company is I teach people how to navigate the markets using price action, specifically price action on charts. So I teach people how to read charts basically. If you have any questions about any of my offerings, feel free to hit me up. I have a whole system centered on charts that I created. It's pretty dope. It's called High Tech Options Accelerated. Let me know if you have questions. I have other offerings as well with By the Hood, which is an intro class that pretty much provides the foundation for your learning how to read charts. But anyway, what I've been doing during the month of July is each and every day I've been choosing a random ticker or soliciting random tickers from viewers and subscribers and doing breakdowns here on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. And so today is day 24, getting very, very close to the end here. And this one is by special request, and I'll be doing Hilton Worldwide on this one. So jumping into the yearly chart, obviously this chart on the yearly time frame is in phase two of the markup cycle, or phase two of the market cycle, I'm sorry. And so if you guys don't know anything about the market cycles, I've done a video on that, and basically just talks about market structure. And phase two of the market cycle is always bullish. So, just keep that in mind. Phase one here, phase two going on. No telling how long it'll be in this phase one, phase two portion of the market cycle. It's just something that you keep an eye on until things start to level out, and that's when you know it has started to enter into the next phase. So, it also appears that, for the most part, the yearly chart has been trading in a channel. Let me double check that and see, you know, if I'm right or wrong. Um, yeah, so pretty much for the most part, the yearly chart has been trading in this area. So, that's something that I would, keep an eye on, especially since it has already tested this trend line up here at the all-time high. It has also tested the lower trend line this year alone. And you see how, last year with COVID, things were just nuts and just overall indecision. And it makes complete sense when you think about it from a fundamental perspective, even from a global, more macro perspective, with there being things being in the air as far as COVID is concerned, vaccines, and, things of that nature. So, for heading into 2021, nobody was really sure. The markets were really unsure as to, what was happening or what was going to happen with the economy. So, especially the travel sector. So, hotels, cruises, things like that. Um, so, lots of selling and buying pressure, but mostly, selling pressure. But, bulls were able to force that price action back up toward the close and open. So I'm going to do a price level right there at that area. As you can see, uh, 3 straight years that that the price has been pretty much obeying that 111 area. Let me just double check to see what the close was, 111.26. So I'll make sure that I make that change here. And we'll call this one 2020 close, as I typically do. Okay. All right. So there we go. And so that's pretty much all there is to really say, in my opinion, about this yearly chart. Um, Pretty much trading in this ascending channel, holding pretty decently above 2020's closing price. as well as 2019's closing price. So, just look to see how it shapes up over the rest of the year. I think it's a pretty good chance that, I won't say that, it's impossible for this to close, for the year to close out above, 135, but that's an area that I will be watching uh, for the rest of the year. Um, See if it can get up to that all-time high, maybe set a new all-time high. But remember, when you have an ascending channel like this, most of the time that upper trend line is going to hold pretty strong. And sometimes when the price hits that upper trend line, it'll consolidate a little bit and then continue upward. Or it'll consolidate right out of there, or it'll just completely break down. So just be open to either of those scenarios happening. As far as the monthly chart is concerned, you can see that ascending channel a bit better there. Um, Here, over the past year and a half or so, you can see where we got a bullish trend line break type situation where the market transitioned rather quickly into phase two of the market cycle, and now it's in phase three. So it's been consolidating for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 months or so. And you can see that right here at this upper trend line, it just it struggles there. Um, and every single time that it approaches that trend line, it um, fades back down toward that lower trend line. So maybe, maybe the price is going to retest the initial 2020 breakout, so down toward 111. It has gotten close there, got down to 114, almost 115 this month. So maybe that is the quote unquote retest of the breakout. But either way, be looking at this low, 110 to 114 area, even moving forward, especially since the price is, kind of consolidating on this monthly chart. Um, Matter of fact, I think I'll do like a small little um, channel here to kind of show where that consolidation is happening. So right, pretty much it's like a 10-point spread almost, about 120 to 129, 130 area. So on the monthly chart, that's pretty much where it's happening. And let me make sure that I notate that instead of leaving it as price level. So consolidation monthly, and I'll name this one pretty much the same thing, consolidation monthly. Okay, so that's those are a couple of important areas to keep an eye um, on this monthly time frame moving forward. And like I said, be looking to see if the price maybe drifts even further below that July low. It may or may not. Be sure to check seasonality and things of that nature. And I'm not sure what the seasonality is for Hilton. But if it's something that you're watching, be sure to check that seasonality to see what the statistics are on a month-to-month basis. Um, in my opinion, if I were considering a position on Hilton, I think that this 2020 close area is a decent area to position on the bullish side. Um, it is also a decent area. If it breaks down, it's a decent area to maybe consider the short side. So I don't have any type of position in this company whatsoever. So just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the monthly chart. Grab my screenshot there, and let's check out the weekly chart. And I'm pretty sure we'll get a even better picture of that channel. What we're seeing here, what I see right away is a gap here on the weekly chart. And so I'm just going to do a rectangle here to notate this. It's a small gap, not super significant, between about 96 and 102 area. So I would make sure to make note of that on the weekly chart. Um, I'm gonna just put a text note inside of it. So gap on weekly chart. Move this over a little bit so it can be seen a little better. And make that white and slightly bigger, bolder. Don't need an arrow, really, in my opinion. All right, so gap on weekly chart. Um, Weekly chart is also consolidating for the most part. But right here we got a bullish reversal pattern potentially right here in this demand zone. So I would watch out for that to see if this coming week, especially with earnings approaching this coming week anyway. Watch for confirmation on the weekly chart. And what I mean by that is if this is a bullish reversal pattern, be looking for a bullish week this coming week. Now, that's not to say that earnings is going to be bullish or anything like that. That's just specifically based on the technical picture that I'm seeing here on the weekly chart. So if so, maybe the price moves up toward closer to 130, maybe even higher, and maybe even up on toward that initial all-time high in the low 130s this coming week. If it misses on earnings and price sells off, I definitely expect it to reject this area. But if it beats, it's probably going to break out a 132 and reach that new all-time high here on the weekly chart. Um, let's take a look at the daily chart and see, you know, what we can see there. Daily chart, you see, I mean, lots and lots and lots of consolidation. In my opinion, I don't think that the markets have necessarily priced in a beat or anything right now. The markets have just been really, really unsure when it comes to this area. So let's see where it's trading in relation to the 50 and the 200. So right now it is trading slightly above that 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average is right at 124.14. I mean, this would have been an amazing entry here, this 114 area, where it actually almost touched the 200-day moving average and took off above the 50. So, maybe it keeps going. But this little mid 120s area, it does appear to be a tough area to beat. So that's just short term. And so hopefully, that was pretty clear for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll address them as I'm able. And if you have any tickers that you'd like for me to check out, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll add them to the queue. Thanks for watching this episode of Market Markup, and I'll catch you in the next one.